Now is a different machine.
Self-confidence will be...
And time waits for no man, as the saying goes. I just think that this is a fight it's exciting. It's a good fight. You've got to make Usyk the favourite, but it's a fight that Daniel Dubois can definitely win.
I think Daniel Dubois, he's on a roll. He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll, so I think that fight's going to come down to mindset.
On Daniel Dubois against Oleksandr Usyk, realistically, has he got any chance? We've got 30 seconds.
Of course he has. Look, it's a tough ask, of course. The thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you if you let him. Dubois, good luck. Don Charles, good luck. Great British boxing, good luck. We potentially might have a heavyweight championship back on our soil.
Carl Froch throws fuel on the fire, hyping Dubois as a reborn savage and even warning Usyk to withdraw before it's too late. But behind the chaos, Froch sounds like a man trying to convince himself. Deep down, he knows Usyk isn't just another fighter. He's a calculated monster who eats hype for breakfast. Dubois may roar louder, but Usyk operates in total silence with clinical destruction. Froch's warning isn't a prediction, it's a plea. Because when the bell rings, it won't be Dubois delivering a shock, it'll be Usyk delivering the lesson.
Scary, but I do think now, this is caught up now as well.
Right.
So I think he's going to be a dangerous man against Usyk this time.
Dave Allen calls Dubois a powerhouse, but then exposes the harsh truth. After over 40 sparring rounds with Usyk, Allen admits he never landed clean. That's the reality Dubois is walking into. Usyk isn't a target, he's a ghost with fists. Dubois may hit hard, but he's facing a master who makes punchers miss and quit. People hype that one low blow moment, but Dubois froze when it mattered. No follow-up, no instinct. Against Usyk's genius, brute strength means nothing. This isn't war, it's surgical humiliation, and Dubois is already swinging blind.
Like you said, like Daniel hit him with that shot and he never capitalised on it.
Yeah.
I sparred him for maybe 40 rounds in 2 weeks. I didn't hit him with one shot. Dubois might have, if that was a legal shot, I don't think it was. But good luck hitting him again. Hitting Usyk with 2 clean shots in 12 rounds is an unbelievable task.
On the other hand, Igis Klimas detonates the hype machine with a savage reality check. Oleksandr Usyk owns more UK fans than Daniel Dubois himself. That's not just controversial, it's humiliating. In Dubois' own backyard, the cheers won't echo for the local hero. Klimas tears apart the hometown fairy tale, revealing that the real crowd favorite is the Ukrainian maestro. While Dubois swings for redemption, Usyk walks in like the true headliner, respected, feared, and worshipped. This isn't just a fight, it's a takeover. The brutal truth, Dubois isn't defending home turf, he's renting the spotlight from a global icon.
Right now, I believe Usyk has more fans in UK than any of the other UK fighter.
Respected boxing icon Lennox Lewis gives Daniel Dubois credit for his hard work, raw power, and solid fundamentals, recognizing the potential in the young heavyweight. But Lewis doesn't sugarcoat the truth. Facing Oleksandr Usyk is a different level entirely. Having tools isn't enough when your opponent is a ring general with flawless timing, movement, and fight IQ. While Dubois trains to throw bombs, Usyk prepares to dismantle them mentally and physically. Lewis knows Dubois might have moments, but Usyk dominates with poise, precision, and brilliance. Against Usyk, power fades, but skill remains king, and no one matches the Ukrainian's elite mastery.
Great Britain. It's not an easy task, but he's definitely the man that can go through with it. He's done the work, he's gone through the pedigree, and he's a certified champion. So, I think he has big hopes on doing it. He's going to do it.
From the beginning. I was one of the first guys to come on record from the beginning. I told him he can come and I can teach him some pointers.
Floyd Mayweather has made his stance crystal clear. He's all in on Oleksandr Usyk. The undefeated icon isn't just backing Usyk with words. Insiders say he's behind closed doors helping sharpen Usyk's already lethal arsenal. From tactical insight to mental warfare, Floyd is reportedly fueling Usyk with every tool to obliterate Daniel Dubois. And here's the real bombshell. Sources claim Floyd privately warned Dubois to withdraw before it's too late, branding this matchup as unwinnable. This isn't just support, it's warfare. Mayweather sees Usyk not as a fighter, but as a weapon of precision. Dubois isn't facing hype, he's facing a calculated demolition.
Everybody's seen him. Usyk was a hell of a fighter, a gold medalist if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but he was behind the scenes. Two guys with a crazy amateur background.
James Ali Bashir, the man who once molded Daniel Dubois, has delivered a thunderous betrayal, openly backing Oleksandr Usyk in the rematch. This isn't just a change of opinion, it's a brutal rejection of Dubois' entire comeback story. Bashir dismantles the illusion of improvement, branding Dubois' recent wins as nothing more than temporary smoke masking long-standing flaws. Even the grueling bout with Jarrell Miller earns no respect, just a survival act from a fighter out of his depth. Bashir acknowledges Dubois' heart but insists it won't be enough against a technical killer like Usyk. This isn't about loyalty, it's about reality. He believes Usyk will not only defeat Dubois again, but completely dismantle him this time.
Usyk is the consummate professional. All right? He's not going to be easy. I don't care how you come at him. He's a consummate professional. He's unique in that he'll bring the fight to you 1 minute, and then the next minute, he's moving and grooving. It's hard to catch up to it.
Masatuma explodes with unfiltered rage, tearing apart the hype surrounding both Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. He brands Usyk as a flashy technician, quick on his feet, yes, but lacking the savage grit required when things get truly ugly in the ring. But Atuma doesn't stop there. He unloads on Dubois with no mercy, calling him mentally weak, emotionally breakable, and a gym-built figure trying to survive in a battlefield meant for warriors. According to Atuma, Dubois has never passed a real pressure test and crumbles the moment the fire intensifies. He dismisses Dubois' power as ineffective against a mastermind like Usyk, and mocks the idea of him pulling off an upset. Atuma believes this isn't a redemption arc, it's a setup for a televised breakdown. In his eyes, July 19 won't be Dubois' rise, it will be the night everything falls apart in front of millions.
People are talented, some people are dedicated to the sport, they're not consistent. Or I think the biggest factor is they're not confident in themselves, or they just ain't mentally prepared to be a boxer.
Eddie Hearn does his best to rally behind Daniel Dubois, but the cracks in his confidence are impossible to ignore. His words feel scripted, strained, like he's selling hope, not certainty. The truth, Dubois is walking into a nightmare. That devastating loss to Joseph Parker didn't just knock him down, it ripped away his momentum and exposed holes he still hasn't patched. Meanwhile, Oleksandr Usyk remains a ruthless clinical master of the craft. While Dubois shakes off ring rust, Usyk is sharpening blades. Even Amir Khan, despite giving Dubois some praise, couldn't deny the gulf in class. Usyk is still too fast, too smart, too calculated. Dubois might have power, but Usyk has precision, poise, and purpose. This rematch isn't just a second chance, it's a test Dubois may not survive. The difference is clear, one man's rebuilding, the other's reigning, and the gap between them may be too wide to ever close.
I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but you know, it's exciting, and I think definitely a fight.
Amir Khan heaps praise on Daniel Dubois, calling him a transformed powerhouse with renewed focus and lethal intent. He highlights Dubois' growth since the Usyk defeat, mentally sharper, physically stronger, and hungry for redemption. But beneath the hype, Khan admits brute force won't be enough. Usyk isn't just a champion, he's a tactician. One misstep and Dubois will pay. Meanwhile, boxing analyst Masatuma sounds the alarm louder, labeling this less a fight and more a cerebral dismantling. Usyk doesn't swing wild, he dissects, disorients, and dominates with surgical precision. Dubois isn't just up against a fighter, he's up against a mind that thrives in chaos.
I think if they fight for a second time, Daniel has a chance.
He has a good chance, definitely. Daniel Dubois, when I saw his fight against Hergovich, which I said last time when he was fighting Joshua, I said, this guy is a beast, he's a good fighter, he's a hard fighter to beat. And I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the tools to win that fight.
Alex Krassyuk, Oleksandr Usyk's longtime promoter, flips the script like a seasoned chess player. He hypes up Daniel Dubois as a reinvented monster, claiming he's no longer raw but a refined threat. But don't be fooled, this isn't praise, it's psychological setup. As Usyk's trusted promoter, Krassyuk knows exactly how to build the perfect illusion. He's laying the groundwork so when Usyk systematically dismantles Dubois, the world sees it as more than a win. It's a demolition of a so-called beast. Dubois may come loaded with muscle and rage, but against a cerebral technician like Usyk, that's just wasted energy. Power means nothing when it swings at air. Krassyuk is using Dubois' own hype against him, feeding the storyline for what's coming. A cold, clinical Usyk masterclass. This isn't mutual respect. This is calculated chaos, and Krassyuk is helping Usyk set the perfect stage for another brutal exposure.
If you ask me personally, I consider this fight to be way more dangerous for Usyk than the previous one. Now we see Daniel Dubois, not a prospect, a young kid anymore.
Teddy Atlas doesn't sugarcoat it. He calls Oleksandr Usyk a generational fighter, the kind who would dominate in any era. In Atlas's eyes, Usyk isn't just impressive, he's dangerously complete. He's not a one-trick powerhouse or a flashy specialist. He's a cold technician with unmatched mental control, elite footwork, and relentless precision. Atlas emphasizes that while Usyk may not lead in any one category, his all-around mastery turns him into a riddle most fighters can't solve. That balance, that adaptability, it's what turns champions into legends. Atlas draws the line clearly. Hype fades, but Usyk's kind of greatness is built to last.
So I kind of figured that one out. But at the end of the day, the whole turning point was after the 5th. It was the 6th round. He did what winners do. He said, a winner never lets you get momentum, does he? No, a winner's not gonna.
Tyson Fury storms into the Trilogy Showdown, firing off threats and promising total destruction of Oleksandr Usyk to reclaim his so-called throne. He shouts about revenge, redemption, and rewriting history, but underneath the noise lies desperation. Usyk already schooled him twice, tore through his unpredictability, and exposed every weakness. Now Fury's wild rants sound more like a man clinging to what's left of a shattered legacy. The truth? This isn't a comeback, it's a farewell tour. Usyk's icy precision, flawless control, and unmatched composure are made to crush chaos. And in this third battle, he's not just defending belts, he's erasing the Fury era for good.
Usyk in December and beat him. I'll reign all the belts I should never have lost. And then I'll fight the Dubois and take that off him.
Tyson Fury finally speaks after back-to-back defeats to Oleksandr Usyk. But there's no apology, no humility, just deflection. He admits he left the fight in the judge's hands, then casually blames the system for what slipped through his fingers. Instead of remorse, Fury plays it cool, claiming he's not crying over spilled milk. But fans aren't buying the act. Beneath the surface, the truth stings. Usyk didn't just beat him, he exposed him, twice. The footwork, the timing, the mental edge, Fury had no answer. His tricks didn't work, his gas tank ran dry, and the so-called Gypsy King fell from his throne. No spin can rewrite what happened in that ring. Usyk dismantled the myth piece by piece, and while Fury talks legacy, it's Usyk who now defines it. The debate is over. The crown doesn't belong to the loudest voice, but to the quiet technician who made history in silence.
I didn't get the victory, but I didn't take it out of the judge's hands, so I had left it to someone's opinion and that went against me. So am I going to cry about spilt milk? No. Have I cried about it at all? No, because here's the fact.
And now the final chapter looms like a storm cloud over the heavyweight division. Oleksandr Usyk stands calm, calculated, and quietly terrifying, ready to close this saga with brutal precision. Tyson Fury, once the self-proclaimed king, now faces a reckoning. No more excuses, no more games. This is legacy on the line. One wrong move, one lapse in judgment, and Usyk will turn the trilogy into a career-defining collapse. The chessboard is set, but the Ukrainian already knows the ending. Fury may talk, but Usyk executes, and that's what separates legends from loudmouths. This isn't just another fight, it's history in the making. The burning question is, will the Gypsy King rise once more or crumble beneath the genius of Usyk? Drop your predictions in the comments, because what's coming on Fight Night will shake the boxing world to its core.